was more fun about this show than normal is it's wrestling, which is unusual for this era.
I feel like everyone's always designated to their feuds. Here, you kind of have, like you said, like these little dream matches that you wouldn't really have these people interacting otherwise.
And also you're catering to the non-wrestling crowd a lot when the Attitude Era has gotten so big. Where a tournament style is someone's going to win and someone's going to lose and then they'll advance. That basic thing kind of makes the wrestling kind of intriguing.
We're in Nashville, Tennessee for this edition of Tales from the Attitude Era. It's Rob Pasbani, joined as always by former WWE writer Tommy Blacha. Tommy, welcome.
Thank you.
And we have a very special guest, as you could see today, from the other side, from the enemy. He's known for his show WCW Deep Cuts and finding the weirdest wrestling footage around on his weekly Twitch streams off the grid. Please welcome Tom Green. Not that Tom Green.
Exactly. You got to get the branding right. I've been working on that since I was 12. Hello. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and a privilege to jump ship like, I don't know, Bryan Adams in 1998.
Nice.
I don't know why I picked that name.
You're like the Radicals.
Because you're
hopefully
in that,
only 3 of them. But.
Yeah. You're in that bubble because you're in the WCW Deep Cuts, so 98, 99.
Yeah.
Bryan Adams. Yeah.
Yes, Bryan Adams. Who else jumped? Sean Stasiak.
Oh.
He had a big jump around this time.
Was it a big jump? Yeah.
I believe it was. Yeah. I mean, when he came out on Nitro, it's like, oh, it's meat from the WWF.
So that was one thing that was exciting about wrestling back then that you don't really have too much of nowadays with these longer contracts.
Well, except for Andrade, contracts don't matter to him.
No, you're absolutely right. For decades, I thought it was very thrilling, and we've talked about it before. That like, just like, oh, there's so and so, they're in the WWF now. Just what was like so intriguing about like Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard have red and white trunks, and then they're the brain. They're with Heenan. Just to see not even the production value shift, or just to see like that logo and them walking down. Somehow it was like just reinvigorating, and vice versa. And frankly, we always talked about how, from my perspective, often like when wrestlers either got injured or went away, it was just like a whole fresh start. It was crazy.
How can we miss you if you don't go away?
Yeah. Maybe not so much in the Sean Stasiak thing, but
no.
And
when he was there, I think this is out there. He was like caught like recording some wrestlers and I was there when that happened. And then it was like JBL and stuff that he had to like dress. He couldn't dress in the locker room. It's like, why is he putting?
Wait, so he was recording conversations with wrestlers?
He recorded conversations with wrestlers, almost as, and I don't know if he told someone like, oh, I don't know the reason, I don't know a lot behind it, but I just know that like you don't do that. And I just remember like, why is he dressing in the hallway? Oh, he can't dress in the locker room for a bit or something. So it was a little bit. I don't think he went to wrestler's court or anything, but it was some internal damage control, so to speak. But yeah.
The rumor I always heard is that he was like super paranoid that people were talking behind his back. So he would leave his bag with the recorder in it and then leave the room.
Oh, the old Jerry Lewis?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it could be. I don't know. I just know that that's what it was, was told to me. Interesting. I believe he's a chiropractor in Arizona or something now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he also has his own superhero character, Phobia. He does remember the dude from 8 is Enough that became like a Bible man or whatever?
Yes.
Yes, that's what he does on the side. It's awesome.
I love how we're all in this weird a circle of like the only not many people you ask these questions. Yes. even your show, and it's kind of like, how many people are out there like WCW Deep Cuts? Oh, I'm in. I'm immediately like, of course, yeah. Yeah. Oh, is Glacier going to be on? Yeah, I'm in.
Oh, of course. So let's dive into this episode. We are a week away from King of the Ring. So it's this Sunday in relation to the show that we're taping. We're reviewing the WWF Monday Night Raw from June 19, 2000. And it's a relatively easy show to book just because you're going through the first round of the tournament.
How dare you, Pasbani? No show's a relatively easy show to book. In the how dare you? You just
Well, don't worry, you still messed it up.
yeah.
I do want to mention also that Tom could be considered a smart mark such as I. So get ready for some pushback.
I surmised that.
So we'll just get into it. So it's the first round of the King of the Ring tournament, and then obviously the main event program is not in the King of the Ring tournament. So how are they going to be involved? We'll find out momentarily. Let's dive in. Show kicks off. Jim Ross reminds us King of the Ring is this Sunday. 6 King of the Ring Sweet 16 matches tonight. Kurt Angle comes out first for the first King of the Ring first round of match. He says, it's great to be here in Nashville. I've been all around the world, and I've seen rednecks all around the world. And you are the most genuine rednecks. Speaking of rednecks, my opponent tonight could be the biggest redneck of all time. Bubba, we all know you like to put your opponents through tables. The people in Nashville use tables for different reasons. Perhaps to stack their welfare checks or possibly inbreed on. This is a step too far for me with the Kurt Angle heat. Too far.
This is really like, it's fine and it's cheap heat, but it's such a wonderfully clunky, stupid, like, what's a table joke? And we need to get some kind of, we're in Nashville, we need to get some kind of inbreeding, and the fans are poor. Oh, they use the table to stack welfare checks and inbreed on? It's so shitty that to me it goes into like, I like it again.
It's the horseshoe.
Yeah. It's like, this is horrible. This is like so horrible. I like it. It went into that. It just.
Okay. Well, don't worry. There's more. He goes, the point is, thank you, Kurt. The point is, your Olympic hero has a table of his own. Oh, where he'll display his King of the Ring crown after he wins this Sunday.
Yeah.
It's true, or as you people in Nashville would say, it's true. Yeehaw.
It's the magic of Kurt Angle. That could just gone south in someone else's. It's just such a convoluted mess. Just words in a box poured out, but it works for me, for him, and yeah.
No, it's good. I mean, I do think the welfare joke was like a bit under the belt, but. And also, I feel like a lot of
really. What about the inbreed? I love how you like in.
Oh no, the inbreeding is fine. That's just cliche.
Yeah.
And then Bubba comes out, and we talked about this briefly last week. It's very interesting how the current canon spelling of Bubba is not Bubba, it's Buhuh. Mocking the speech impediment that he had at the beginning of his tenure. But regardless, Bubba comes out. He's still selling the dumpster spot on from Thursday, and Angle immediately goes for a half Nelson into a pin, and like I was like, whoa, that's some shoot wrestling right here.
Yeah.
But then I think Kurt's inexperience is really on display in this match, and the reason I say this. Is strictly from a politicking standpoint, because Bubba took 90% of the match, and Bubba, I could tell, was calling the match. I could see him suggesting spots. Bubba took 90% of the match, did all power moves, and then Kurt Angle squeaks by sneaking in an Olympic slam to win the match. This is the guy winning the King of the Ring tournament against a tag team wrestler. I think Kurt Angle should have had way more in this match. But this is a very smart mark observation. I admit.
I got to disagree with you.
Oh, let's hear it.
I'll tell you why. I think since he's going to win it all, why not? And also, if you make the analogy of like, how often is a big, great sports team, the New England Patriots, let's say, had a shitty game and pulled it out at the end and won. That's the mark of a great champion. Everyone can't be there, predictably all the time. And then it's also Kurt Angle being like a seasoned pro. Like how many times have like a lot of like the good heels, have, lost 90% of the match and snuck out a victory, a la Ric Flair or what have you. So I enjoyed it. It was a little more intriguing and, what did you want? A fair back and forth, and I don't know. Made Bubba look, everyone's happy. Kurt's going to win it. So that's my perspective. I'd like to hear Thomas Green's perspective.
Yeah, what did you think, Tom?
I mean, I kind of sided more with Tommy in that Kurt's a heel.
Yes.
And the heat is that this Olympic champion has to squeak by a pro wrestler.
Yes.
Because if he dominates the pro wrestler, then it's like, okay, that's what we expect out of this match if it's real. But and people would cheer him because, you know, he's doing what he's supposed to. But wouldn't it make him even more hated if he goes out there and gets his ass kicked for, 7 minutes and then has to cheat to beat this pro wrestler? What? Yeah, yep. I'm with Tommy on this one.
And especially when he goes out and barks about shit on the crowd and he's like, okay, this, and I'm gonna, you suck. And then, I'm dominating this guy. In your words, it would herb out Bubba, be like, Bubba should take that opportunity to be like, oh, he's distracted. He's talking about Nashville and this and that. So.
And I mean, if anybody on the roster is going to stand up for inbreds, it's Bubba Ray Dudley.
Why weren't you in the room back then?
Oh, shut up! Yeah,
because that would have been great for Kurt to say exactly that. Anyone's going to stand in for it. Oh, damn it! Damn it! Where's that time machine? No, that would have worked.
Okay, great. Also, I do want to give so much credit for the booking of the tournament. How you snuck in all these tag team wrestlers into the tournament to be able to eat the pins in the first round. I thought that was very, very cleverly done and like very discreetly. Like I didn't pick up on it until like 4 matches into this.
I didn't pick up until 25 years later. Yeah, it was we like to call that masterful booking.
Go ahead. I was going to say, before we move on, there's a sign in the crowd that caught my attention. This is June 2000. There's a guy who looks probably in his like late teens, early 20s, holding up a Wall of Voodoo sign.
Ooh.
The band who recorded Mexican Radio, the big 1982 hit.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Blew my mind.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
So after Kurt wins the match,
no, hold on, I can't.
We gotta go.
That has to resonate with me for a second because it is so just like I'm just a Wall of Voodoo fan, and so I'm going to let everyone know. So many years after at wrestling and
wrestling, yes.
No, I'm going to be on camera. This is my big shot. I got to let people know about this band from 20 years ago.
I know. And it's a sign. It's not even a t-shirt. It's a sign. Nope. What was it? Did he, I'm always intrigued sometimes when you see someone a little too old and they just back in the day that they still do it, but just went to the drugstore, got a piece of poster board and just,
just wrote Wall of Voodoo.
Yeah.
And later on in the show, he flips it over and it just says Mexican Radio. So,
yeah.
Bless him, man. Bless his heart.
Hope that guy's still around watching. Give us a shout if you are.
Yeah.
So after Kurt Angle wins, we cut to backstage and the McMahon-Helmsley faction. It is now settled that it is a faction. Both the graphics department and the announcers are on the same page. We were questioning it was a faction or a regime. They're happy that Bubba's out. Triple H, Vince tells Triple H and Stephanie, let's go take care of business. And he wishes X-Pac luck in his match against Chris Benoit. As Vince is leaving the locker room area, Patterson and Brisco come up to him saying he got a fax from his wife, Linda. And then Patterson keeps going, Linda is the CEO, right? Vince goes, I know who my wife is. This is very much like Patterson and Brisco are like the best parts of the show every week lately.
Always.
So
and you know what's crazy is like anytime those guys did anything, there was never like, they're just like naturally, you felt like you're suddenly in a movie from the 30s that was working so well. They never ran over everything as far as like their timing of like, Mr. McMahon and Patterson, like, okay, we'll do this. And then they would just do it all the time. It was never like, you flub that or whatever. Those cats just knew each other for so long, and it was like just always like so funny. I don't know. For me, I have a weakness for it.
No,
I have a weakness for the Stooges.
They're fantastic. And so after the break, the McMahon Helmsley faction is walking out to the ring. Vince is a few steps behind everyone else. He has his reading glasses on, which always pops me. And he's like sifting through this fax that Linda sent him as they're coming to the ring. This is 2000. Email isn't as prevalent. It exists, but
no, fax had gravitas, so for some reason.
But I want to know, like, was there like a fax machine in the ring truck that they had to bring from city to city, or did they use the building's fax machine? I want to know all that info. Like Patterson, Brisco just sitting with the fax machine all night.
Well, actually, quite literally, they, as they would go from city to city, you'd have, you come in and be like, catering this way, whatever, this way, kayfabe. And there was always an office, and the office did have a fax machine because they did certain like money things. They did, they had to handle things with the arena and pay all that. So there was always, a half a dozen people in an office with a proper fax always set up, on the road. So we should
explain. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was joking, and then you were like, "Oh, here's actually what happened." So.
Well, your show is deep cut, so nothing too deep.
I love it.
So they're in the ring. Triple H says he's surrounded by people he could count on, at least people he thought he could count on. Chews out Jerry and Pat in the corner for screwing up that Kane photo last week. Didn't develop. He says, thankfully, everything went to plan on Thursday, just like it will on Sunday. Crowd is super hot.
And a small note that just because last week you were always making fun of Linda McMahon coming out, with her charisma-less response. So this way, it was a pretty good fix there. Where like, her power could be represented through a fax and not like, they're not going to bring her out 2 weeks in a row and now I'm laying down another decree. Every once in a while it works for me because it's so odd, but you can't go to that well too many times. It's like, let's see her in 3 months again.
I appreciate that because I do feel like Linda really drags the show down a little bit. Like she's so not at the level of acting as everyone else. She's like a real person where these are all larger than life characters.
Right.
So this worked better. Although I would say this segment, this Vince portion of the segment was very clunky. It is, but let me get through the recap.
Yeah, I agree. It's basically, I'd like to relay some information to you. But
yeah. So crowd is super hot as Triple H is talking. As he's talking, they're chanting against Stephanie, calling her a very unbecoming word. And then Shane takes the mic. Immediately when he takes the mic, there's a Shane's a pussy chant. And Shane says they'll be victorious this Sunday because they're family. Blood is thicker than water, and we are unified. Then Vince gets the mic, and this is when I think things go downhill a little bit. He says, I truly love my wife, Linda. I won't deny that she's been meddling in my business. I won't deny she's CEO. I won't deny that my wife questions the size of the testicles of this faction. My darling wife says that Kane, Undertaker, and Rock should be competing for the world title this Sunday. The crowd is excited. Furthermore, my wife questions if my grapefruits have shrunk to the size of raisins. I'll tell you what. And so here, this is where I think it's clunky. I assume it's already very clunky.
Yeah.
But like he's getting mad at Linda, but there's nobody to play off of. So he's really getting mad at a piece of paper.
Yeah. Well, there's that, but also it's worse for me.
But beyond that, yeah, he suggests to me when he says, my darling wife says the Kane, Undertaker, and Rock should be competing for the world title this Sunday. My mind goes to, wait a minute, are they going to change the main event to a fatal four-way? Because Linda said it,
It's even more clunky than that because it's like, so like, why is he opposed to that? Like, what is his, you know what I mean? She's not in that paper isn't saying like, you got to get in there and do and be in this match or something. There's nothing really to be angry about. Like, oh, and then you're kind of like, oh, so Vince doesn't want Kane. What does he want? You know, it's just multi convoluted out of the gate. It's not clear. It's not good. Sorry. My opinion. Yeah.
And so Vince says, "I'll tell you what. If either of the three of us, Vince, Shane, or Triple H, pin Undertaker, Rock, or Kane, then Triple H will defend the title in July against the King of the Ring winner. But if Undertaker, Rock, or Kane pin Triple H, they become world champion." This was so clunky, I had to go back and rewatch it to like properly transcribe.
Yeah, there should have been a Venn diagram.
Yeah, like
this happens.
Yeah, it's like the Charlie Day from It's Sunny meme of like, well, first you got to do this, and then you got to do that.
Yeah,
and then, like this was very confusing. And then to add to not the confusion, but the absurdity. However, tonight, Rock, Undertaker, and Kane have to earn their matches. They've already earned their matches. You've already done this. Kane will face the Hardys in a handicap match. Undertaker will face Bossman and Bull Buchanan in a handicap match. And The Rock will face T&A, Test and Albert. And no interference from DX. Now I ask you, Linda, how's that for a giant size of grapefruits? Music starts. Triple H is having a heart attack. Like, what are you doing? And he's beside himself. And Vince is like, oh, relax.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's, if I remember correctly, it's one of those things where, like, I think a lot of things peaked the week before. So like, we're ready for King of the Ring. Oh, it's in 2 weeks. And because, like you said, part of it was like, oh, we got all these qualifying matches, so that'll be the theme sort of that one. But kind of the main event guys, their peaked a little bit the week before. It's like, we got one more week of fucking just, stretch it out bullshit. So, yeah, a little bit of a convoluted mess. But like I always say, the live event was so exciting. And sometimes a lot of this convoluted, especially early when you'd cut to the audience, they're like, yeah.
No, the crowd ate this all up completely.
Yeah.
They were so
I always use this analogy, like someone's like, young Rob Pasbani, the smart mark, like, wait, what is going on? And someone next to him, like, I don't know. Yay!
Guys, the writing here is like, no, The Rock is wrestling tonight.
Yeah. Slut. Whatever.
Tom, what did you think?
Exactly what you guys said. It's way too, okay, so if we want this match to happen, these three things need to happen. If you want this, a lot of legislation, which wrestling fans love. Also, when those lines about the factions grapefruits start getting thrown out, I'm thinking, Linda, your son is in that faction. Why are you?
Why are you thinking about your son's balls? Great question.
Well, and also it's a bad thing to be like, it isn't in the facts that says, well, since your grapefruits are the size, he brings something up, and then if she thinks this, she didn't say that. You know what I mean? You brought up your own thing that you're shitting on. If she thinks my grapefruits are the size of raisins, she's wrong. Well, no, who did she say that? I don't, it's bad.
like I just want to read the copy of the facts to see, like, okay, Vince, your testicles are very small. Yeah. By the way, here's a bunch of wrestling matches that are going to happen.
Right.
Real weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, a lot of, but like you said, and I'm going to side with you, Tommy, is people just wanted to see The Rock wrestle.
Yeah.
So when you tell them, hey, he's going to come out later.
Yeah.
He could be, in an obstacle course match with 7 people. And they'd be like, we get to see him do this thing.
Yeah.
They're happy,
Yeah. We should have had Pat Patterson in the background going like, oh, should I wait? Now hold on.
Mr. McMahon.
Right.
I'm confused. Could you go back to the beginning?
So now, does this mean that Kane is gonna be? No, you idiot! I explained it.
You could have put 45 minutes trying to explain it to them.
Yeah,
you gotta go back. Also very funny to see the Stooges walk out to Triple H's music while he's trying to be all like big and bad.
Yeah,
with all like the lights and stuff. And The Rock, Mr. McMahon.
Yeah.
No, they're great. Also, I feel like on SmackDown a week or two ago, you booked this exact same idea of McMahon putting the three of them in handicap matches, which made me think of your thing about like, they want steak and potatoes and give them steak and potato, but it's like I'm getting steak and potato overload.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, let's move on.
Well, I just want to tell Thomas Green that I use in my mind all the time that Vince said once, which was pretty smart, where someone would say like, "What's the swerve?" And you know what I mean. And sometimes you get too swervy, and Vince said once like, "Well, sometimes, damn it, I'm in the mood for steak and potatoes, and I go to a restaurant that's famous for steak and potatoes, and I order steak and potatoes. And am I disappointed that they bring steak and potatoes? No." Like, I get your point. But it's like in writing and stuff like, sometimes that's smart, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want lasagna and be like, oh, that's a swerve. But,
okay. So then after the break, they're backstage. And Triple H asks, "What do you think you're doing?" Vince says, "You better watch it. Linda wants fair. She'll get it." What?
I
know. Then we have Benoit versus X-Pac. This was great. There was a lot of great wrestling. The booking questionable, but the wrestling on this show was very, very good. And a very wrestling heavy show, which is always a treat in this era. X-Pac sucks chance right away, which, you know, I have to say that really shows how over this guy is for all the heat he got during this era. Like, I feel a lot of it is unfair. Like, X-Pac is great.
Great wrestler too. Almost never out of place. You know, like just one of those guys that like, oh, you know, also like wrestling went since he was 15, you know. AWA when he was like 16, I think. Lightning Kid, Also, it's so cool because like these two definitely wrestled in WCW, and I love when something like that happens, when two guys wrestle in different promotions, different characters. It's like a fun little smart mark thing to see. So basic wrestling match, not dismissing it at all, but nothing really to discuss other than the ending, which is Tori gets on the apron, distracting Benoit. X-Pac charges. Benoit gets out of the way. X-Pac runs into Tori. She falls off the apron. Benoit does the German suplex for a near fall. Then hits a crossface. X-Pac gets to the rope. X-Pac goes for a tilt-a-whirl. Benoit counters it into a shoulder breaker, something we don't really see at all. And goes for a top rope headbutt, misses. And then the Dudleys run out, chase Tori. The distraction allows Benoit to get the crossface and get the win. Makes sense. X-Pac is in a feud. Benoit is not. So he's in the tournament. I guess he's kind of in a feud with Hardcore Holly and Jericho. Interesting. But, I would have bet my bottom dollar that you would have waved your clean finish smart mark flag at this one. Because I personally didn't think Bubba should have come down. I thought X-Pac and Benoit should have had some kind of a cleaner finish, especially when you had the Tori thing. And I believe she was injured and had to leave. So I think she was gone for a while after this. So I'm surprised you didn't.
I'm just numb to it at this point. I think you're right. Like it should have been like there's no reason Benoit couldn't have just beat him clean and X-Pac wouldn't have lost anything. He's in a tag team program now anyway. And Benoit is the Intercontinental Champion. But I guess for me, the reason why I wasn't so bothered by it is like I knew Benoit was winning. And I was just like, oh, I see. This is how you get to it. You know, like that was my reaction.
Wow. This may be the first time where I've clean finished smart mark.
You've out smart marked it, yeah.
And you haven't.
I love it. Yeah. Well, I'll save it for later. Don't worry. Tom, what did you think?
The match itself, I thought it was very cool that, you know, this was the smart mark dream match back in the mid 90s. Lightning Kid and Benoit were like the two. Right. I don't know if they're internet guys, but they were the two guys that all the smart marks were like, oh, these are the two best. But yeah, like Rob said, this is a very wrestling heavy show, which it had to be because you have 6 King of the Ring, you know, first round matches, but you also have the roster to back it up. It's not like 98 where the roster is like DOA and I don't know, Henry Godwin. Like the roster can actually fill a match, you know, fill a segment with wrestling. And that's, what I was more fun about this show than normal is it's not, all these talking segments.
Yeah,
but it's,
and I think
wrestling, which is unusual for this era.
Yeah, and to your point with the tournament format, it like I feel like everyone's always designated to their feuds. Here, you kind of have, like you said, like these little dream matches that you wouldn't really have these people interacting otherwise, but the format gives the excuse.
I agree, and not only that, I love tournaments just for the fact that often it's like, okay, it's a match, but people are going to be, and also you're catering to the non-wrestling crowd a lot when the Attitude Era has gotten so big. So it's like, oh, what's going to come out of this, and what's the storyline we're feeding in this? Where a tournament style is people are weirdly focused, like someone's going to win and someone's going to lose, and then they'll advance. That basic thing kind of makes the wrestling, if you will, kind of intriguing in that sense, and basic, if for lack of a better word. So yeah, I agree. So it is almost weirdly to say, like, oh, and that's kind of a flaw of pro wrestling throughout the decades, is like, who wins, who cares? It's kind of deal. So yeah, but I agree. And also, but to back you up what you said about the roster, not only the roster, but at this point the roster's been the same for a while, even the Radicals came in. And but they all knew the guys. They've all wrestled each other too, so they're all familiar. So that's even better than just throwing the
but they wrestled each other somewhere else, so it's still fresh to the WWF audience.
Yeah, I agree. And and like we said, there's a weird extra freshness to like, oh, these guys are wrestling again. No, but in WC now they're wrestling here. Oh,
this Chris Jericho hasn't wrestled this X-Pac, or this Chris Benoit hasn't wrestled this guy.
Yeah, I agree.
It's similar but different. Like oh, how is the president? That's what's intriguing about it. It's like, how will this be different than the other one?
Yeah.
After that, we have Eddie and Chyna coming to the ring. Eddie is trying to flirt. Eddie and Chyna are facing each other in the tournament. Eddie's trying to flirt and Chyna's serious. Says, we have to think about our match. Out there, I'm your opponent, not Mamacita. I'm liking this dynamic. So then we have Vince. He says, in the interest of fairness, after what just happened, we're going to have a handicap match with Road Dogg, X-Pac, and Tori against the Dudleys. And in the interest of fairness, we'll make it a tables handicap match. And in the interest of fairness, we'll make it a handicap table dumpster match. So it's Dudley's versus X-Pac, Road Dogg, and Tori in a handicap table dumpster match. I'm not quite sure the rules of this, but this is peak Vince overbooking right here. This is so much like what? All right.
It should have gone one further. Like, I don't know, flaming cage or whatever.
Chyna's in the ring. Eddie gets the entrance. He's coming down the aisle with roses. He's just grinning at Chyna, trying to get her attention. And she does this like really subtle like smile. Like, I want to be serious, but you're just so charming. I can't hold back. It's so good. Their dynamic is just perfect. They never get up. It's so great how they nail it. And in general, this match was booked 10 out of 10. 5 stars for what they're doing. This was so good. He tries to get her to just go to the back and forget about all this to start the match. And she's like, no, take this seriously. And she offers him like a handshake, like a competitor handshake. And he takes it and like kisses it, like, because she's a lady. Yeah. And she pulls away. She's like, no, this is serious. And she slaps him, puts him in a headlock, and we're off. And Chyna gets most of the offense. Love that Eddie like let her shine. He gave her some power moves. She did a press slam on him. At one point, Lawler goes, the last thing you want is your girlfriend beating you up. Kind of embarrassing, no? Which I'm like, wait, Lawler, like, Jerry, come on.
No.
And so the finish is excellent. He's running to the ropes. She gets on her knees and she's in position to give him a low blow, but she hesitates because she realizes, wait a minute, I'm going to need this later. Which I thought is such a great little wrinkle. And he's like begging off, like, please don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. And then she acquiesces and he's very thankful that he gets on his knees and he grabs her arm to kiss it, but then he holds onto her wrist, and with the wrist lock, he positions her into a quick roll up, and he gets the pin.
Yep.
So good. So good. This was perfectly produced.
Guerrero. That's all I ever have to say about him. Perfect. Yeah. Damn it. I can't think about I always think about like booking. You should have came up with that line years ago and could have given it to Lawler. Oh, look, he said, I'm going to need this later. Oh. That would have been.
No, I love that part. I love that so much. Yeah. And so after he gets the pin, he immediately is like, I'm sorry. I had to do that. And she is very upset and just storms off.
Yeah.
And Eddie runs after her. So Eddie advances in the tournament, which, again, predictable outcome, but I love how you got there.
I think it's the greatest pinnacle thing that happened in the whole entire Guerrero Chyna deal.
Yeah, this is the climax of the story for sure.
So, yeah.
And why it works is that Eddie is not like self-conscious. He's pretty confident in himself, and he's willing to show ass, and it makes the whole thing so much stronger.
He's the greatest.
I like Eddie and Chyna better than I like I like Chyna and Triple H. And I know I'm going to get some flack for saying that from some people because
not here.
You know,
no, I agree.
Like he made her human, which is funny because he's walking around like a cartoon character, half the time. But he made her 3-dimensional in ways that her character had never been.
Absolutely,
she got to show other feelings other than I'm strong and tough. You know,
yep, absolutely. That wry smile he Pasbani talked. You're totally right.
I feel like Eddie took the WWE like a fish to water in ways that nobody would have expected. Like when all those guys came over, it's like Malenko's going to have a tough time. Saturn. I know the scuttlebutt on the internet was like, oh, everyone thinks and the company thinks Saturn's going to be the guy because he's all jacked up. But it's like, no, Eddie like immediately, I feel like within weeks was like, oh, I get what's going on here. And I can do this.
And I'll tell you behind the scenes, it was exactly like, well, everyone was like, well, yeah, Benoit, of course. Saturn immediately was kind of like, oh, he's kind of not stiff, not like, robotically stiff, not, that was a little scuttlebutt about him. But everyone, just the legacy was like, oh, Eddie. It was like immediately like, what do you think of Eddie Guerrero? Fucking incredible. Like not only incredible, but funny and consummate pro wrestler from 3 years old or whatever and just amazing. And then even bringing up the Chyna stuff like, oh yeah, and I could do this, and he could, oh fuck, and like your point, my favorite guys, Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero, they can walk around like cartoon characters, but if they need heat to be serious, snap of a finger. And their abilities. So they got total locker room respect, and they, you know what I mean? They're the easiest, best fucking guys. Period. Yeah.
Yeah, but those are the ones that do the best doing the silly stuff, are the guys that know that they have the skills.
Yeah.
In Kurt's case, they know that they could destroy everybody if it were real. So it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Let me walk around and get slime and feathers thrown on me. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's a TV show.
And that's, I think, why Eddie got so over. And it's interesting, too, because we never, like, Eddie was a little silly in WCW, but never like this. Never this level. So it really took WWE.
No, and he was smart, though. But you could see even in WCW, you could, like, tell the charisma. And I think, for whatever, he's just as smart where, you don't want to go too far or get that, like, stink on you. Like, I'm trying too hard to be silly to get this thing over. In my opinion of the WCW stuff, he was like, oh, back, like, okay, this is what it is. But you always got a sense of like, oh, that guy's, funny. He's got it going on, but he's not going to, he's not going to fuck himself over by trying too hard in a segment, if that makes sense or whatever, if everything's not all there.
Yeah, he knows that he knows that if he wants to advance up the card, that he's going to have an out point where he can, like you said, snap and turn it on. And this character, you can tell at any moment he could become, asshole boyfriend, and be manipulative and mean. But that's the anticipation that you're building to. It's like, it's coming, but he's so sweet to her right now. So
yeah. And then you didn't realize, like, oh, crystal ball. Oh my God, he's gushing blood against JBL. Dear Lord, not too far after this.
No.
Yeah. Backstage, Edge says tonight is going to reek of awesomeness. If I beat Jericho tonight, we'll totally be in the good graces of the Fag-Gym. You going to be there tonight? Christian says, I have a friend who knows a guy who has a friend who's the editor of Tiger Beat. Which is the second time they referenced Tiger Beat in the last month. So you're going to miss my match to me with some guy who's the editor of Tiger Beat? That's awesome. Do what you got to do. Good stuff. These guys always deliver as well. Backstage, Eddie is asking Chyna to talk to him. Chyna says, Eddie, I can't talk to you right now. He keeps trying to present her with like gifts and she's not having it. He's like, I don't understand you. You said, don't be silly. Then you say, be serious. And I'm serious. And you get mad. I don't know what to do. And then she says, in a very tender moment, she says, last year I wanted to be queen of the ring and I didn't get to. And then this year I wanted to be it. And as she's turning around, Eddie stuffs a puppy in her face. And she's just like, oh, and, he's like, please don't be mad at me. And Chyna melts. And then Lawler quips, everyone loves puppies. Great segment. Then we have Edge versus Chris Jericho. Another great match. And Lawler can't drop it. Come on, Jericho, say it. Raw is puppies. And then Jericho's mic time says, I want you to take out your cameras because for those of you with the benefit of flash photography, you have a handsome-haired, cheesily grinned jackass. I know you want to be on Tiger Beat magazine and you're a shoo-in because who knows more about beating than you? Edge is very angered by this. How dare you insinuate I masturbate? Jim Ross, ever the pro, says 2 Canadians going at it here tonight. We're live on TSN.
Nice.
And it's a great match. A finishing sequence sees Jericho powerbomb Edge, and he holds on and tries to pick him up for another one. Edge counters into a pin. Jericho kicks out of the pin and turns it into a Walls of Jericho. Edge immediately gives up. Continuing the trend of the tag team wrestler in the tournament losing the falls and it being fine. And to your point, this was a clean finish. This very much could have been the Benoit X-Pac finish just as well, where they had like a crazy exchange, crossface, tap out, win.
Sure.
But this was good. Nothing really negative or positive either. It was exactly what it needed to be. Triple H is chewing out Bull Buchanan and Bossman, saying they got to win. And this is when I was like, wait a minute, didn't Bull and Bossman break up like a week or two ago twice? And like, shouldn't Vince McMahon know this? Like, booking this match? Shouldn't Triple H know? Like, nobody knew this until the announcers brought it up in the match. That really bugged me.
Yeah, but well, sometimes
they should have faxed it to him.
Yeah. There you go. The Tennessee Titans are here. And The Undertaker comes out. Production on the network forgot to blur out the Kid Rock American Badass album art on this episode. It shows up. It's been blurred before. Immediately, Bossman and Bull Buchanan, who are already in the ring for the match against Undertaker, they're in a shoving match just to decide who's going to start the match. And then it was only at this point that Jim Ross mentions, oh, these guys have their problems. Like, no, like, don't you want them to win? Like, why would Vince book guys not getting along against Undertaker? You know, like, come on, Vince. You're so concerned about your grapefruits, you're not thinking with your head.
Yeah, something fell through the cracks. There should have been the pre-promo of like, this is your chance to get back in the good graces of the fucking Fag-Gym, blah, blah, blah. You two, you know, where are you going to go? Who the fuck are you without? Yeah, could have been something. Should have been something. Maybe it fell through the crack. It did fall through the crack, so oops.
Undertaker is just dominating Bull Buchanan. He's about to finish him off. Bossman comes in with the nightstick. Undertaker drops Bull Buchanan and goes like, you want some? And Bossman's like, no thanks. And Bossman ducks out. Undertaker finishes Bull for the easy win. And so they're still, Bull and Bossman still don't get along. Backstage, Scotty 2 Hotty and Rikishi have a little talk out and they say, you know, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to put you in the worm. I'm going to give you the sick face. Let's just not take it personal and let the best man win. They fist bump, and then as they're walking to the ring, Rikishi butt bumps or hip bumps Scotty 2 Hotty completely out of frame and giggles about it. And then Too Cool catch up to him like, hey, come on. There is an incredible segment. There was a house show in Minneapolis over the weekend, and Jesse Ventura attended, and there's footage of him raising Triple H's hand. And the WWE or WWF cameras caught up with Jesse and asked who his running mate would be if he ran for president. And he said, well, I'm not going to run, but I think Chyna would bring in the female vote because remember, McMahon, there are people in this world more powerful than you. I love that they left that in.
Pretty good.
Yeah, putting my smart mark glasses on here. Why was Jesse raising the heel's hand in Minnesota? You know? Triple H is like the top heel, and Jesse's like, yeah, this guy rules. Kind of weird, but I'm sure that's a weird Jesse thing where he's like, no, I like this guy the best, so screw all of you, my constituents.
And it could be just one of those things too, where like, oh, we have that footage of him doing that. Since it was a house show footage, something like, we don't. That's the best we have, or I don't know, because that just the studio did that too, and so I don't know. It's one of those things. If you were to brought it up to Vince, it'd be like, "Hey, how come he's raising the heels?" And Vince might have been like, "Yeah, how come that happened?" That's how it goes sometimes. Yeah. No, good point. No.
So we have Rikishi versus Scotty 2 Hotty. Lillian introduces Scotty as one half of Too Cool. Ross quips, one half of the WWF World Tag Team Champions, to be exact. Lillian. The big spot is Rikishi going for, I guess it's like a butt splash in the corner, like a back splash. Scotty 2 Hotty moves out of the way. Rikishi's reeling. Scotty hits a bulldog, putting Rikishi in position to take the WORM worm. He hits the worm. Scotty goes for the pin. Rikishi kicks out so strongly that he throws Scotty out of the ring. Great spot.
Yeah.
A few moments later, Rikishi hits the Samoan drop, hits the butt bump, and puts Scotty in position for the bonsai drop for the win. What I like here is that Rikishi at no point went for the stink face because the two of them are friends and he's not looking to embarrass his friend. He's just looking to win. After the match, he helps Scotty up. And of course, Val Venus runs in and attacks. And Brian Christopher comes out to save them. This was good. This was what it needed to be. And another tag team wrestler taking the pin.
Clean finish.
What'd you guys? Yeah, clean finish. Any thoughts, Tom?
Like you said, it's fine match. But there's a lot of fine matches on this show.
Yeah.
Where it's like the wrestling's good. There's not a lot of stuff to get content out of. It's just, this is fine wrestling. You know,
like you said, like Tommy said, actually, I feel like the creative peaked a week before. Like the pay-per-view should have been on the Sunday.
And also you get to like fundamentally hang your hat or whether you think it's good or not, as far as like, well, what storyline did that advance? Well, now so-and-so advances and so-and-so's gone. And so now next week we move towards this. That's the pleasure of a bracket. People love brackets for whatever. Oh, okay. Yeah. So now, so there is a semblance of a storyline, there that helps.
We have Kane versus the Hardys. Now, going into this, I was about to be very upset. I was ready to really chew you out for dropping out.
This year, recently, or when you were younger?
Oh, no. Like modern day Rob, because the Hardys are my avatar, Tom.
Right.
So I'm very defensive.
You weren't going to call me at 3 a.m. Hey, I just want to, I'm upset about something. Huh? What?
No.
When was when?
Well, in general, I'm typically against a main eventer going against an established mid-card tag team because I feel like it really makes the tag team look like herbs. And
can I quote you on that? Generally, sure. I'm against a main eventer going against a mid-card tag team.
Yes.
Rob
put it on my grave. With that said, and especially with how fragile the Hardys are right now, because they're pretty low on the totem pole, I feel, the way WWE sees them.
But you know what that means? Nowhere to go but up. There's always a positive. There's
to
always,
your point,
yeah.
I loved how this match was laid out. It's like two guys trying to chop down a tree, and initially Kane is no-selling their offense. He's just swatting them away. But then they recognize if they double team, they can successfully get some offense, and he can't stop both of them at once. And they looked as good as they could. Like, the tandem offense they were doing was really cool. They managed to get Kane off of his feet. They did the leg drop and a swanton combination, but Kane immediately sits up. Anything they try to do, just when they think they finally got some sort of advantage, Kane no-sells or sits up or whatever. And it's like, fuck, what do we do now? So this was booked as well as could be. And Kane eventually ducks on some Hardy offense, and they collide, allowing Kane to chokeslam Matt for the victory. Well, the Hardys were not jobbed out here. The reason that they lost is because of miscommunication, which I'm always a fan of, being the reason that a match is over.
Let me correct you, if I could. When you said this was booked perfectly, the booking had nothing to do with it. The booking was just
a producer.
The match.
Yeah.
The agents and the performers and the match made it. That's something always to me to look at. Like, it could have been, but they did that. The
Hardys actually came out looking stronger in losing, which is very difficult.
Yeah. So I'm just, it wasn't the booking like, okay, we need to do this. It was, that's when
you gave it to I'm guessing probably Michael Hayes produced. He probably loves the Hardys.
Could be.
I assume.
Don't know. You never know.
Yeah. No, my one complaint about this is like, it was babyface, and I feel like the crowd was like, all right, who are we supposed to cheer for here? Because Kane's one of the three top baby faces in the main event at the pay-per-view, but the Hardys are the underdogs. And so you kind of, looking out in the crowd during the match, they're like, all right,
yeah,
cool. Like, this is the most chilled the crowd was the whole night. Like, everything else seemed to get over. This is the one match where they're like, let's just see what happens and whatever. But I agree with Rob. Like, I was going and expecting to be like, how dare you, job out the Hardys. And then they worked a perfectly smart match where nobody was ruined at the end.
And part of the thing, and I don't know if this works for you at all, was like, oh, Kane is almost like an elephant or something. Like, Kane
is almost like an elephant. Sorry.
Well, he's like a baby face, but there's no shame in ever like, well, I couldn't fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's the jungle animals go after each other and like, oh fuck, there's an elephant. Like, a lion wouldn't be like, oh fuck, you couldn't. Yeah, well, that's a fucking elephant. I can't fuck with that, and just leave it alone, and then we can have our fucking hierarchy over here.
Yeah,
it sometimes works.
Yeah. I didn't even have a problem with like them being booked against each other, like in any other way other than the babyface thing. Because Kane's right now, like Rob said, Kane's way up here, and the Hardys are kind of hanging out down here, and Kane should be beating them. Yeah, if they're up against each other.
And it wasn't great in the sense that, like, it wasn't a tournament thing. It was like, oh, who's being punished? What is this? Or what the it's like, so. But
probably Matt, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Matt's always being punished for something.
But they they pulled it off. They made chicken salad out of chicken booking, frankly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I thought
it was always Matt
bad booking, great performing.
Yeah.
Really.
Then in the locker room immediately after the match, Triple H turns to Vince and says, if Rock wins, I'm warning you. Okay.
Oh, The Rock won. All right, here's your warning.
After the break, Vince is now gone, and Triple H is just yelling at Stephanie about, your dad is screwing everything up. Okay. Then Crash Holly enters. We get a recap of the Shaft segment last week. And I want to mention that whenever you aired the Shaft segment on SmackDown, you added some sort of like visual effect where you added the letterboxing and you like changed the frame rate a little bit to make it try to look like a movie, like a film quality.
Yeah.
But then when you showed the recap, you did not apply those filters. And so it just looked like regular footage, like it looked like the raw actual footage that you shot. So another production flaw.
Big production flaw. And if you remember, like to go back to the, gosh, you know, that was such a thing that was pretty new back then. Started doing like the late 90s and TV, but it was like, oh, you know what? If you do this, you can give it a film look. That was like a big trope that happened, you know, started around 1998 or something. So that was like, oh, ooh. Now like all that stuff means nothing.
So we get the recap of the Shaft sketch, and it's Crash
Vignette,
versus.
Damn it!
Oh, I'm sorry, Vignette. And then we have Crash versus Hardcore in the King of the Ring tournament. So another fun little dream match. I mean, I guess these two have wrestled each other. They had the WrestleMania feud a few weeks ago, but still, this was fun, and I really like the ending. In terms of a non-clean finish, since Patterson and Brisco have been feuding with Crash Holly, they run out, and they both Patterson and Brisco have a weapon. And Patterson gets on the apron. He distracts Hardcore, who basically has taken the entire match. He has the match in the palm of his hand. And Patterson distracts Hardcore and gets him out of the ring. And then Brisco comes in the ring and strikes Crash with a pipe. Ding, ding, ding. Hardcore Holly is DQ'd. And Crash Holly advances in the tournament. And now Hardcore is pissed off. And Crash Holly's knocked out. So what does Gerald Brisco do? He pins him. Gerald Brisco is the new Hardcore champion. Hardcore is very upset. After the break, Brisco and Patterson are celebrating in the locker room. They lock the door. Patterson says, now that you won, I'll take you to the place in New York you wanted to go to. So I love that they're referencing my favorite joke in the previous episode, which is that Brisco wants Patterson to take him to a gay bar.
Yeah. Well, that special place. We don't know what goes on there.
Yeah. You're
could
right.
Be all, could be all kinds of shit going on.
Yeah, it could be. Right.
Don't pigeonhole the weird decadence of Patterson into a simple gay bar.
Yeah, you're right. It could be one of those basement parties I've heard about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Patterson says, before we go, though, a little champagne. Let me taste it first. I didn't understand this part. He pours champagne, then he tastes it, and then he hands the glass to Brisco. Like, what? And Brisco's like, oh, I don't know. Okay. I was like, where were they going with that? And then Patterson pours himself a glass, and Brisco's just happily drinking with his back to Patterson, and then Patterson grabs the bottle and shatters it over Brisco's head. Yep. No, I'm sorry. First, Patterson pours champagne over Brisco's head to feign celebration, and of course, Brisco's like, "Oh, my eyes! The alcohol, it burns." Then he shatters it, and he pins him, and he wins the title. Patterson's the Hardcore champion. 10 out of 10.
Well, I think if here's how this goes. This is booked like, oh, yeah, then, like laid out like, oh, Crash is knocked out. And then like, oh, Brisco can win it. And like, oh, how about Pat brings champagne and they celebrate. And then like when he's celebrating, he whacks him in the head and he gets the Hardcore title. Great. And then you give it to them and then that happens. Everything you just laid out. There was no like, you taste it for, and there's none. It's just like, that's how it was produced on the fly. And it was like, oh, it's them. So.
Yeah, no, it's like you said earlier, where like you do the run throughs and then Patterson and Brisco just come in and do whatever they're gonna do.
Yeah,
like that's I literally wrote that in my notes that like I wrote down the whole scenario with the champagne bottle 2 minutes before they get to it.
Yeah, because
Patterson will not stop talking.
Right,
it just goes on and on and on. Yeah, it's like okay, well, let's speed it up, guys.
Yeah.
But no, I felt like it worked because they are so weird compared to the rest of the show. Everybody else has this cadence and they talk like this and they say these words. Patterson and Brisco are like you bring two people in off the street and they're like, okay, go do a vignette.
Yeah, and I agree with you completely. I would say maybe it's like your weird aunt and uncle at Thanksgiving. Yeah. Oh, we're all talking and like they're no, just give them a pass on that. Yeah. They're citizens of, elder citizens, so to speak. Advanced year citizens who are fucking wonderfully nuts.
What's crazy? They're in their early 50s here. They're not even that. They're not that much older than the current WWF World Champion. That's what's so. Oh, the current WWE World Champion.
I think they're pushing 60 here.
Probably. Okay. All right. I think I looked it up. I thought Jerry was 54 at the time. But let's see.
It could be.
That Patterson date of birth.
Oklahoma never losing a match. 54. Hard fucking 54.
Okay, so Patterson was 59. Patterson was 59 at the time, and then Brisco was 53.
Oh,
so, okay.
Yeah, that surprises me.
Okay, so then,
but also Brisco was 53 from like 1979 to 4 years ago.
Yeah, he's only now looking his age. Like, So backstage, Triple H and Stephanie are giving TNA a pep talk, and Steph is like, "You better win, you understand?" And Test is in the corner, and I'm so glad that this was in here because Test is like not happy about this. And he just goes, "Whatever, Stephanie." Then Triple H snuffs Test so hard, I had to go back and look at it again. I couldn't. This was a shoot snuff, and they get like a pull apart, and Triple H is just like, "Just get it done." Any opportunity for Triple H to herb out Test one last time, he'll take it.
That was my favorite part of the show was the acknowledgement. That, these people have issues from like a year ago.
Right.
I feel like, especially in this era, continuity was sometimes sometimes not, because the attitude was, well, fans probably don't remember that. Whereas this, even up to like, I watched a clip from like a 2002 SmackDown where Triple H and Test interacted and he was still mad about being left at the altar. I'm like, good on you. That's the one through line in WWE creative.
Yeah. And you know what? Part of it too is like, Test is like, okay, there's just so many dynamics going on. Like, he's awesome. He's younger. Stick around. You'll get your, day. Things fall to the wayside. And you're exactly right. I wouldn't say it's exactly like it's not preconceived. Like, people don't remember that. It's honestly just flying by the seat of your pants. So much going on. And what about this? How can we bring this up? Okay, you're right. We should. Fuck, there's 9 other things going on. Move past it. So it's flawed, I would say, but it's not by conceit flawed. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like, it really, if you look at a show like, okay, 400 things, 382 went right, and here's the 16 that went off. Okay, and you just move past it. So, but
then they all end up on the internet the next day.
And well, actually, at this era, that's what we talked about. It was wonderful because there was the dirt sheets and wood, but it wasn't like now. Like, I can't imagine every fucking thing. In fact, we talk about there's certain things that like, oh, that couldn't have been done today just because everyone would have like shit on it. Like, I always talk about when Austin got hit by the car, which was basically the night before. His neck's hurt. He can't fucking wrestle. This was a pay-per-view in Detroit. And like, well, what do we do? He gets hit by a car and just everything falls out. Who hit him with the car? Today it would have been like, they came up with this at the last second. That was lame because of this. And that would have been a big portion of the fans, where back then it was more like just the smart marks, so. And the speed wasn't like immediate, so. That's my diatribe.
Yeah. No, by the time the segment ends, there are 4 tweets like, okay, here's the producer.
Right.
This is what got messed up.
Yeah.
Here's when he got yelled at.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Vince is seen yelling at everyone backstage already. Yeah. Then we have a Rock promo. It's the first time we're seeing The Rock all night. Rock knows the 2 letters stand in his way, T&A. Unlike Test, Rock isn't 6'7", 280 pounds with blonde hair. Unlike Albert, Rock isn't 6'8", 330 pounds with a pierced anus. Isn't Prince Albert is a pierced penis.
Yeah.
Right.
But okay. This is a perfect example.
You don't know that his anus isn't pierced.
You're right. But a perfect example of writing that I would argue is subpar that The Rock elevates because he's The Rock. Because it's just like, it's gibberish, but the crowd is in the palm of his hand.
It is gibberish, but the phrase pierced anus does put it on its own branch somehow.
You're right.
Good or bad, you decide.
It is funnier than pierced penis or pierced pecker. Or yeah, it works better. I can see that. Unlike Albert, Rock is in 6'8", 330 with a pierced anus. Rock is 6'4", 270 with a bona fide grade A bring your candy asses. Crowd loves this. Big Rocky chant. I want to point out The Rock
catchphrase.
Yeah, The Rock is 3 inches shorter than Test by his estimation, but only 10 pounds lighter than Test.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, big Rocky chant. He's gonna win, and then we have the main event.
Well, if you remember back then, the Rock had like hamstrings, like fucking this.
He did. He was massive. Then in the main event, we have Rock versus TNA. Hot match. Rock is doing selling mostly. I would hope so. And to your point, Tom, he is the babyface. They're the heel, so it's very clear who to cheer for in this handicap match. And at one point, Trish tries to trip The Rock. Trish tries to trip. It's a bit of a tongue twister. The Rock. Rock turns around and grabs her by her hair, and this gets maybe the biggest pop of the match. The Attitude Era fans love man-on-woman violence. Test puts a stop to it.
I think it goes beyond the Attitude Era fans.
Oh, that's fair. It's just wrestling fans, you're right. Rock Bill does his big comeback. He does his Hulk up, giving each member of TNA fists. 1 fist for Albert, 1 fist for Test, 1 fist for Albert. Crowd is really into the big comeback. He gets Albert out of the ring. Spine buster on Test. People's elbow. It's over. Rock wins. All 3 main eventers shockingly win their handicap matches, meaning that the title is on the line. The world title is on the line in a 6-man tag at King of the Ring. Take that, Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah.
Triple H is very pissed backstage, and Vince says, wait till SmackDown. And then we cut back to the 3 guys, or to The Rock celebrating in the ring. And Ross asks, as the show goes off the air, will there be unity this Sunday on pay-per-view?
Will there be unity? I don't know.
And perfectly fine main event.
Yeah. No, I thought it was, and also like by this point, I'm like ready for the show. I'm like fatigued, you know? So it was short and sweet. And yeah, I'm ready for the pay-per-view. I will say while the show didn't quite advance much, it did get me excited to see, especially the tournament. Like, I'm curious what happens.
Well, it was an odd show because part of this era, sometimes I think like shows went off great and it was kind of like, oh, storylines advanced. This was at least, it wasn't like, it was good. I don't know, to rate it, whatever, 7, you might say, or something. But it was a little, just the tournament style, it just was like had a real different flavor, and the wrestling saved the show. Sometimes it's like, oh,
absolutely,
the actual performing in the wrestling, because you could have it could have gone off the rails pretty easily, I think. But and also anything, the advantage of anything before a pay-per-view is always like, well, it's setting up the pay-per-view and we're leading into it. So, it was, I liked it.
Yeah, no, totally fine show. Like you said, it was a wrestling show, which you didn't get a lot of in that era, where it's like, we got to rely on the wrestling matches, but also going back to, I feel like the theme of the show, the main event especially felt like, okay, we've already done all the work for the pay-per-view. Let's just have Rock go out there and beat some guys. And so, wrestling was good the whole show. Nothing made me scream at the television, which is good. Totally fine show.
Yeah. And we have the King of the Ring this Sunday. So pretty exciting stuff. I'm curious how you rework things for SmackDown, because obviously you still have SmackDown. Got to give one more roadblock for the faces before the pay-per-view. And I'm curious if we're going to see a title change this Sunday. I kind of been so long I don't actually remember what happens at the pay-per-view.
I don't
probably
either.
not. Yeah, we'll see. But it does make sense that, like, if you were to do a title change, this will be a very easy way to get the title off Triple H without making him look weak. Vince could obviously eat the pin. He could eat 50 pins if need be, and nothing would change. So a lot of intrigue coming into the pay-per-view, even though this feels like you're taking the month off. The King of the Ring is giving you guys a month off from the main event story, but still intriguing enough.
In a way, yeah. In a way. What happened with WCW tonight?
I think this is the end of the new blood around this era.
Yeah, Vince Russo quit this week.
Yeah.
Vince Russo, he got a concussion, I believe.
No, this concussion was in September. This was one of the 7 times he walked out. He's like,
I'm sorry. He quit, and they said he had a concussion, and he'll be back next week. But it really was he because I checked out the Observer.
No, Russo in WCW was like the pilot episode of News Radio, where the old manager just would walk out every hour, and Dave's job was to go fire him, but he would just come back. That was Russo in WCW. He would just walk out like every couple of days because he got sick of the politics, bro. But they had. We got FUNB Terry Bollea, aka Stone Cold Hulk Hogan. This is something. Right. I think the natural born thrillers are starting to be a thing. Just take the 8 greenest guys on the roster and make them a stable. But yeah, nothing like this.
The week prior was the Great American Bash pay-per-view where Goldberg turned heel.
So I forget if that was the week before or after the King of the Ring, but yeah, no, where they were like, this is a surprise that Vince McMahon can't even stop. And it's like, yeah, he can't stop a heel turn in WCW. So good job. Is this the week that Jim Duggan punches or Goldberg punches Jim Duggan's cancer? Because there was a week where he wrestled Jim Duggan and like he like lays him out on his side and just starts punching him where he had cancer removed.
Oh man, no. He's not in the results.
Yeah, because there was that. It was around this time, and then Goldberg says that like he comes back from like beating a middle-aged man who had just recovered from cancer, and there's a Make-A-Wish kid at Gorilla crying.
Goldberg is feuding with Nash over Scott Hall's contract. That's the main.
I remember the blow off is Goldberg. I'm not kidding. Goldberg ate Scott Hall's contract, just like watered it up, put it in his mouth.
Boom! It's gone. Void.
But yeah, that's the competition. Is so. I mean, even like a Barry Paint by the Numbers Raw kills that. Kills Nitro.
Yeah, it's tough. It does have the car wreck appeal for me personally. Oh,
that's why I love. Like I can even the batter as a WCW I love because there are 3 things on every show that's like, how did a human being come up with this? You know?
Well, and it's weird because just knowing, and being part of the whole Russo thing in a way, I remember even at the time thought like, oh, well, got a big contract. No one could have gone there no matter what power they had and just like turned it around. No. It's not that, like in football, you get a chance, like if a coach goes to a team and the rosters and chaos or people are injured, you're not just like, whoa, what are you doing? You be like, you want to see some growth or whatever. It can't just happen. You know what I mean? There was no possible way he could do anything. And so his whole thing was like, oh God, now I've got this weird pressure. I gotta just get more and more outrageous. And what's it like? I think it was Steven Spielberg said something like, action without suspense is boring. You need to have like suspense or action, like eats away at suspense. So it's more like your clock is suspense. Action is eating it away, and then when it's action, when anything can happen, it's boring, So it's kind of like you said, like Goldberg turned heel now. Why? It was difficult, but I do like to watch the train wreck. I'm almost more intrigued now. I really, I encourage everyone to like watch your stuff because it's always like, oh, it's out of all the shit on the internet, I do hear like when you WCW Deep Cuts.
No, I pride myself because the stories on WCW are always the same three things. NWO happens, everyone got paid too much, and then they die. Well, no, there's like 900 other things that happened.
Right.
Like, you'll just watch a Nitro, 2 guys get into a real fight, and nobody gets punished. we just move on. I posted one today about a guy who was brought in to be a police officer, and he got arrested right before he debuts. And then he got arrested again, and they just kept using him as a cop and didn't stop using him. There's the story about they like brought in a tag team without ever seeing them on film, and they show up and they're like practically untrained. And they switched because they already announced they were going to wrestle. So they switched them with another like unknown tag team to just do the match that was promoted. But then they aired the tryout match. That was horrible.
What was the team?
They're called Magnum Force. This is like 1990. So like, they aired. It was like a live Clash of the Champions. Magnum Force was supposed to wrestle the Steiners, but they hadn't announced who Magnum Force was.
Oh, the Steiners too.
Yeah. Oh, the Steiners would have destroyed these guys. But they switched them in with this like indie tag team called the Ring Lords, and they aired that match live on the Clash of the Champions. It goes fine, and then the next week for some reason they aired the tryout match of the first Magnum Force. So like if you're watching at home, it's like, what happened to the other guys? But it's WCW for you. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, how could people check out your stuff?
Absolutely. So I do the WCW Deep Cuts shorts Mondays and Wednesdays on all the video platforms, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, yada, yada, yada. Those are the things people probably know me the most from.
I watch it on Truth Social personally.
Yeah. Truth Social, Rumble.
Are you on Tout?
Tout. Yeah.
Rumble, Grindr, all of them. And then on Fridays, I do a series called Why They Rule, where I just I try to negate all the negative talk about wrestling on the internet with just 60 seconds of me gushing about why somebody I like rules. Like last week I did Gangrel. I love that dude.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. on my Twitch channel, Not That Tom Green, all one word. I do WCW Deep Cuts Live, where I just play a couple of episodes of old WCW television. We watch it all the way through. It's a good time. It's a hoot. And then a couple Sundays a month, normally every other Sunday, I do a live stream called Off the Grid, where I find some copyright-friendly wrestling, is a nice way to put it. But it's just the weirdest, like, old indie wrestling TV I can find. And we watched that. Like, I found 1989, there was an indie in Florida that for some reason had a talk show that aired locally.
Yeah.
The host was Dean Malenko. So
I wanted to stop talking. I'll watch it. Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. I've skimmed some of it and it's like, oh, this is amazing. That's what we're watching this week on Off the Grid. So it's Sunday at 8 p.m. So, but yeah, just be on the internet and I'll pop up somewhere. So thank you guys so much for having me. This has been a blast.
Your social is Not That
correct.
Tom Green,
Yes.
right?
I'm pretty sure I'm on everything at Not That Tom Green. So
yeah. And if you just Google WCW Deep Cuts, it's the first result.
Yeah.
There's not a long list of people that are like us who would be like, oh, and why should I watch that?
Yeah.
The host was Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yes. No, 30 minutes. It's no commercial breaks. It's Dean Malenko talking to a guy in a chair. It's fantastic.
Oh.
And if you're a Tom Green fan watching our show for the first time, we review every episode of WWF in 2000, which Tommy was a part of, and more behind the scenes stories, just like we did today. So please keep tuning in and check out some of our archives.
And I don't want to end on a sour note of Dean Malenko, because backstage I found him very funny.
That was always the rap. Was Dean Malenko?
Everyone says
if you could get the Dean Malenko in the locker room in front of the crowd, he'd be the tops.
He used to do this bit when he kind of was, I think, either felt marginalized or something, and then like some of the like Triple H or whoever, someone would be talking about something, he'd be in the background and he'd try to make eye contact with someone, and he'd be like listening to them, like he'd be like, we're going over something, and then like that, and then they would walk away, and then he would like, and he would run to catch up with them, and then he would look back like just like that. It was just so fucking funny. It was like, it's like, we're close.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the show, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are on social media, TFT Attitude Era on all the social media platforms that matter. And of course, if you have any questions for Tommy, you can email us tftattitudeera@gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next time on Tales from the Attitude Era.